G'day, ZiggyD here, and welcome to the very first episode of a brand new series of Endgame map commentaries. While the Path of Exile Survival guide is working its way up from the very beginning of the game to and into the Endgame sort of sections, I thought why not burn the candle from both ends, so to speak, and also start up at the same time doing an Endgame map commentary series. What I want to do in these sort of shortish sort of episodes is just run through one map in each time. I'm going to roll it, I'm going to talk about rolling it, so crafting the map, and what to expect from the map and what to consider when crafting it, and then I'm going to take you guys through the map, and it's kind of going to just be like a casual, relaxed sort of commentary of the map, while I also share as much sort of knowledge and info as I possibly can, because doing the 1 week race especially, I picked up a lot of new cool information that I'm really eager to share with you guys, and the endgame map system I think doesn't really have enough coverage. There's not really, I haven't really found anything that really just gets into each individual map, and I know moving into endgame myself, there was so much uncertainty, like so much fear about going into each different map, so hopefully I can break that down for you guys, and hopefully for the rest of you that are already kind of pretty familiar with the endgame, also maybe just get a kick out of watching me do some maps, and maybe, because I'm going to be playing on hardcore in some of these characters, maybe also get a kick out of the potential that I might possibly die while doing an educational series. But hopefully that doesn't happen. So in this episode, I'm going to be playing on my level 87 Rain of Arrows Ranger. This is my 1 week race character, and I'm still having a ton of fun on it, so I thought I'd continue to roll with it. And I'm going to be kicking things off with a level 70 Underground Sea map. Since this is a bit of a higher level character, I thought I'd want to start with like a mid-level map rather than going for a 66 map, which would just be super kind of boring to watch on this character. And I have a few different characters I can play around with, and I might try out the different maps. So, this sort of, this map here is based on the zone from Act 2, the caverns, no, sorry, Act 2's the caverns, I believe, yes. I think it's pretty much the caverns, I don't know, they kind of changed the names around pretty recently. That's the kind of zone, so it's like an indoorsy sort of cavey area with some bridges and stuff like that. I can't remember what the base type of mob in there is. There's always like one specific mob in each map that natively spawns to that. It's possibly golems, or it's possibly sea spawns or something like that, but we'll probably figure that out when we actually jump into it. But that's not a major issue for this sort of map here. Now, because this is a level 70 map, this is right on the borderline in terms of crafting. Some people like to one-alch and go level 70 maps when they're trying to move up especially, and my map pool isn't that big, so that wouldn't be a wrong choice for me to do at the moment. But it's also on the borderline of you can just kind of craft it as a really good blue. So I think I might do so. I might craft it as a blue for this one here. And the map boss for this one, which is always worth considering when you're crafting, is Kuduku. So basically, try and avoid like minus max resistance and elemental weakness if you can't run purity or something like that, because his lightning damage is very dangerous if you have lower resists. But at the moment, level 77 lightning resist should see me through it pretty easily, especially because I'm a ranged character as well. So let's give this a go. We have 2 unique bosses, which is always pretty interesting with Kuduku. It's not too bad, but otherwise this map doesn't really offer us much of anything. The unique bosses is always a good mod, but we'll stay clear of that. I think I want to try and roll pack size, or possibly magic monsters is possible, but we'll see what we get. There's 45% more rare monsters, and extra damage is fire. That's not too bad. That's one you could potentially roll. I think I'll continue rolling though and try for a magic one. Minus 24 max resist. I would not roll this on this map. And by the way, I'm holding shift to craft this like this. I always get questions about that. Here's turbo. That's actually not too bad. Let's see what we can augment for that, because that's just a suffix there. Oh, it's actually a prefix, sorry. 34% magic monsters. That's not a very high roll. You want to try and go for as close to 50 as possible, really. But 34% and turbo, I think we can do better than that. I did say I want to try and roll this one a bit better. Monster physical resist, not so great for my build. Humanoids isn't too bad. Let's try and roll a humanoid something. No life or mana regen. That's a pretty high percentage sort of map, but I don't think it's too interesting. I think I want to go for magic monsters if possible. There's 34% rare and 2 unique bosses. That could be interesting. Oh, let's roll a little bit more. Chilled ground, chaos damage, elemental damage, vulnerability, nothing here. 44% magic monsters. That's a nice roll. Let's see what we get on the prefix. Increased monster life, that's going to slow things down a bit, but it's not too bad. I think I'll go with that. I'm pretty high DPS on this character at the moment, especially for a level 70 map, so let's go with that. That's a very high magic monsters roll. Gonna get some pretty good XP in this map. It's, yeah, should be pretty good. Should be pretty good. And magic monsters do have the potential of dropping +1 sort of maps as well, so one level higher. And if I'm happy to just get a refund from this map if possible, because I'd like to explore some of the other level 70 maps. But if I, get a +1 or a +2, I'm going to be stoked as well. So let's give this a go. Now, clearing this map is pretty simple because it's all pretty much like one straight corridor. There'll be some little extra side areas. Looks like we've got a rare right there. What is it? It's obviously a shielding rare. Can't really roll anything else there. So I'll clear off some of these blues just here. And we'll move into the bubble here. I'll just curse these guys. I also have an enfeeble. Oh, that's an LMP rare. I should really watch for that affix there. So that is pretty dangerous. If you roll like a minus max resist, you really want to check out for LMP waves like that, because they can do a lot of damage, especially if they crit. You can get frozen, and having reduced resistances there. This is actually really nasty rare because of the extra projectiles and the fact we have to get right in close to it. I don't think it's enfeebled. Is it curse immune? No, it's not curse immune. Alright, I'm gonna have to just kind of like let it fire, do a few shots, dodge. Oh, the skills! Oh, I did not get hit. That was awesome. Alright, that's a pretty good start. The epic skills there. Did not get hit by any of those. I didn't think I would be able to do that so well. So I'm just going to kind of stick to one side, but you kind of want to poke into each of these areas and clear. So what's this mob here? I didn't actually get a good look at what that was. Let's check it out. I'm punctured there. Really need to watch out for that. It's a fractured mob. So did it have anything else that I need to worry about? Not really. I think I can just kill this one off pretty safely. Fractured, extra life, undead, uses puncture. So we just kind of want to stand still against this guy. If we run, we're going to take a lot of extra damage from puncture. And I'm going to be able to just leech through the standing puncture there. There we go. I want to make sure I kill off those guys before they attack. Need to clear that puncture up. So obviously having a removes bleeding fast is always important in Nemesis. Obviously, I am playing on Nemesis in this character here. We have a Vile Touch. Oh no! Vile Touch, the worst mob of all time. Vile Touch really is nothing to ever be worried about. Unless you have like minus 60 chaos resist and very low life, maybe you're like an ES life split character, Vile Touch is not really going to be an issue for you. So that's a nice easy one there. This is a level 70 map, so I'm probably not going to be picking up too many whites, other than ones that I might potentially want a chance. So what I'm going to do here is, because this continues along in a hallway, I'm pretty sure that this area up here will be a dead end. Unless this is the hallway itself, I'll just have to kind of check. So we'll see. There's a few more blue mobs here, lots of goatmen. Lots of people say goatmen never drop maps, but we'll see. Maybe we'll get lucky. So yeah, there's the dead end there. We want to just make sure we clear out each one of those dead ends before continuing on, because you don't want to have to run back into those dead ends, and that's really going to kill your map sort of clearing time there. These wave mobs are always nice and easy to clear. I'm pretty sure these are the base mob for this map. There's vulnerability, so I'm going to get rid of that. Don't really want vulnerability from all this fizz damage, especially because we know there's puncture mobs in here. Pick up that... Man, fail picking up of the chromatic item. Alright, so we obviously have a Searing Bonds Totem rare up in there, the ancestral one. Pretty easy to deal with, especially as a ranged character. Powerful crits. What else? I'm going to use my granite here, and it's Elemental Reflect. Though this one here is a bringer of weakness, Elemental Reflect. So I'm going to use my Curse Removal flask there. And just kill this guy off pretty easily there. As long as you sort of keep it... Oh, we have a Storm Herald. Lots of rares in here. Surprisingly, when I didn't roll that one. Extra life, powerful crits. Now, powerful crits does work on Storm Herald, I'm pretty sure. So I'm going to try and snipe this guy out if I can. I can sort of hit him with Frenzy for a bit here. Might be able to draw him into range. I can also cast a totem there, and that'll sort of draw him in a little bit. I do less damage because I'm a point-blank character, but it's worthwhile trying to pick him off a little bit. The thing about Storm Herald is it's like a slow sort of rolling, so as long as you shoot and then kite a little bit, and then kite a little bit and shoot and kite, you're going to be kind of okay. Now I also have my Q flask, my leftmost flask, is an insta-heal with removed shock, and that's pretty clutch. This is a pretty nasty map to get a Storm Herald in, as you can sort of tell, because I don't really have much potential to kite around. There's not a big open area I can move around in, but I can sort of get the jump on him just here. Oh no, he moved behind something. I can sort of circle him just here, and I have a culling strike as well, so I'll use that just there. There's the cull. Alright, cool, got him down. Now, yeah, so powerful crits, Storm Herald like that, pretty dangerous. Any sort of extra damage mods, and Storm Herald is very dangerous. Storm Herald in general is pretty scary, but as long as you got the room to maneuver and you take them out intelligently like that, it's going to work out pretty well. So I'll just clear out these guys. All pretty easy. None of these guys are really worth worrying about too much. Nice XP though. I always like sea witches and their spawn. Looks like we've got some chaos stacks there just from the little squids, and the blue spiders are nothing as well. So I think we cleared out all of that. Good stuff. There's a chest there. I'll grab that. My clicking skills are a little bit off today. Apart from the dodging of those waves, that was pretty awesome. So we have Ele Reflect with extra projectiles. I'm going to pop my granite here since there's quite a lot of archers. I'm gonna bring this guy down and cull him as well. I am punctured, so I want to make sure I really listen out for that. I suggest like turning game music down a bit and turning your sound effects up, because you'll hear things like puncture. This is Nullify. Nullify removes like it stops you from getting fast charges, and it also removes any like frenzy stacks you have. So there's no point using my single target frenzy against a mob like that. In fact, my conk effect, Rain of Arrows, does more damage anyway. I generally only use frenzy for building frenzy stacks and for culling monsters, because it has rarity attached to it as well on this character here. I will do a build guide for this character soon. Maybe if you're watching this video a little bit later after it came out, it might already be up, so make sure you check out the builds guides playlist on my channel. So what do we have here? Vile Touch. Oh no! Again, nothing to worry about there. The rest of his mods are just life regen, Group Frenzy on death, nothing to be really concerned about. 68. That's a -2 on the map there, down from 70, so that's not helpful at all. Grab the chest there. Now we should be checking chests in pretty much all, I reckon, level 69 and above maps, because then you can get a refund from a chest and rocks and things like that. These guys all hurt here, they deal some chaos damage. My chaos resist is pretty low, -35%. Now, I want to sort of check around here because there will be a dead-ended section in just here. This isn't the boss room. It kind of looked like the boss room, but it is. I don't think it is yet. The boss room kind of widens out a bit, and there'll be a little wall in it leading up to the boss, which I'll show you guys when we get there. There's a 29% topaz. I'll save picking up white jewelry. I could like pick up white jewelry to alch at this level. If you are coming through like a level 70 maps for the first time and you really need better gear and you're sort of not buying gear, maybe you're playing self-found, then this is a good opportunity to sort of like look for jewelry like that and basically craft those sorts of things if you need them. So this is a soul eater here. So not too much to do from that above. Like if you can single target him down without killing the other mobs, that'll make it much easier. Otherwise you can draw him away like I did there, because Rain of Arrows will kill everything around him and make him tougher. That mob by itself wasn't that dangerous though. A few more guys just here. I'll just clear these guys out pretty quickly. As you can see, I'm very happy with how this character's turned out here. We've got a blue pack of snakes here. Nothing too much to be concerned. As long as I sort of keep attacking these guys, it's not going to be a problem. I do have vulnerability there, so I'm going to remove that because that's going to cause me to take more damage from punctures. My W flask, so my second flask there, removes curses. It's a long duration heal with curse removal. That's kind of just like the flask I like to run there. Just keep an eye out for those vulnerabilities whenever you're in a puncture map, because that will kill you very quickly. Puncture by itself, not so dangerous if it's a little hit, but with vulnerability, really amplifies it out. So I've been forgetting to check the loot a little bit. Hopefully I haven't missed too much. There's a Scroll of Wisdom. Again, not really bothering with the white jewelry just now. I do need to go back and check here, because little dead end. There's some pots, I'll smash these, because as I said, I could get level 70 refunds from those pots. And that's always very nice to do in higher level maps. So you will see people like smash every single pot. What's this? Fractured with extra fire damage. Quick. So we want to make sure we fracture this guy pretty far away from us. I can actually cast a totem just to sort of distract him there. And we'll kill off the rest of them, because we don't want to eat away from all of those guys at the same time. Being a little bit overcautious there, but I guess in hardcore Nemesis, overcautious isn't really that bad a thing. It isn't a bad thing to do. So we've got extra cold damage leap slammers here. These guys will hurt a lot when they leap slam you. There's a 16% rusting. Oops! Watching out for that bleed. I did run a bit there. At least sort of only taking short steps as I'm kind of stutter stepping around. A few more little dead ends in here. There's a chest. I'm going to poke around here so I get a good angle. I don't want to run up forwards and sort of get surrounded, so I'm going to poke into each side. We have a bringer of weakness, so I can just use my curse removals on him. He's accurate. Nothing really to worry about there. I'm an unwavering stance character anyway, so I can't dodge it all. And we have a proximity shield spider. Really not an issue. I'm going to use my granite here though, just because I'm eating a bit of extra damage from some of this stuff here. I think these guys do half chaos, half fizz. I'm not actually 100% sure on that one. If you guys know that, those snakes that fire those little spines that do chaos damage, whether they do half fizz. Oh, this is a Storm Herald mob. Good thing it's only... if you get a Storm Herald mob, it's always good when they're a low health one like this. This spider, I can pretty much just zerg that down. I probably could have stood there the first time I saw it. But if you do get a Storm Herald mob, pray that it's one that's really quick to kill, because then you can sort of just zerg them down like that. Just run up to them, kill them before you take too much damage from the storm. Alright, so I poked around there so I didn't get surrounded. Good stuff. And just checking my loot. Looks like nothing's dropped from any of these guys. And I think we might be getting pretty close to the boss room now. These maps are much bigger now since a recent change to the map system. So still sort of getting a grasp of how big some of these are. I've played this map a few times though in the 1 week race, so still pretty familiar with it. There's a cannot die totem there, so I'm obviously going to have to snipe that down first. Otherwise I can kite these guys out of here. I can also run up, pop a granite, and then kill this guy off, and then kill off the rest of these guys. Rain of Arrows is a really good skill for sniping out those totems. I do want to pick up... Oh, I am bleeding. There we go. I do want to pick up Amethyst Rings, because chancing these for Ming's Hearts, and if they do roll well, as a rare anyway, which this one didn't, they can actually sell pretty well. That one's not very good though, so that'll just go into the Chaos item recipe. Selling a full set of rares. Level 16 above will give you a Chaos Orb back. So rings and amulets are usually the hardest ones to get out of those. So the occasional wear here and there from chancing eventually pays itself off. You know, if you get lucky. Don't spend too many chances and get quite a few rares out of them. It works out pretty well. But I'm also I really want the Ming's Heart, which is a unique using that base item. So I often chance those amethyst rings. So here's a volatile Ice Blood. Now he has faster. Oh, he's actually desynced. So I'm gonna OOS there. So the thing whenever you see a volatile mob, you want to check their other affixes. If they have like extra damages of any sort, that will apply to the volatile explosion and causes a lot of damage. So I do have a Worm's Molt still, and I'll probably trade you after this map. But so he's got just fast attacks. Really, I could have tanked that. I could have face tanked that pretty easily. But if there's any extra damage on there, that will cause the volatile explosion to cause more damage to you as well. So you want to check those and watch out for those. So we just got some totems here. We've got a Vile totem up ahead as well. So I'll try and kill that off. I think I'll duck over here using my removes bleed fast there from the punctures I'm getting. There's nothing good in these items there. Sometimes I will pick up 6 socket thickets. They're usually higher eye level ones than 70. Like 73 I think is a good level for it. Maybe 74. I'll kill this Vile totem here. Now I'm punctured, so I'm sort of just going to stand here and kill these guys off. Pretty cruisy map overall. But lots of more monsters. Pretty decent XP considering my level in here. But just sort of easing ourselves into it with this first episode here. I don't want to rip in the first episode. Could you imagine? But let's see what we can spot up. There's actually a chest up there, so we'll go grab that. Chests are always worth opening, even in low level maps. But pots and things like that I tend to only smash in level 69 plus maps, just for those refunds. A few more skellies here. Let's push around. Oops, punctured. Good thing I'm not taking too much damage from those punctures there. My armor. Oh, I'm not actually running any of my auras. Oh, noobing it up. Alright. So here's a Shroud Walker, that's fine. I'm Resolute Technique, so I can just stand there blind and still kill him. But I can't believe I wasn't running any more auras, so that's actually really bad. Because if I had taken like a really nasty crit puncture, that would have hurt a lot more, and a puncture would have been much worse. Because basically, the initial damage of the attack determines how potent the puncture itself is. So I'm going to ID some of these items real quick, and if they're no good, I'll drop them. None of these are any good. None of those are any good. If I do see items that are potentially good or are good, I'll explain why in this series, because I know a lot of you guys are always wanting to know how to like value items and how to know what items are good. But it's not worth talking about why each item is bad. I'll generally pick up chromatic items over crappy rares. Like, sure, I can vendor them through a few alterations, but it's not worth the time taken to go back to town. So this guy's Soul Conduit. The best thing to do is I now carry around Devouring Totems pretty much all the time. Because he's going to eat up... I didn't use my life to do that. But he's going to eat the corpses, so he can't actually res them. Otherwise, you can just draw them away from the pack if you're not using a Devouring Totem. And the Devouring Totem kind of works also as a hacky decoy totem. It distracts things sometimes, but not always. But I do use it a bit for that. But it's good if you... Basically, if I do this like this, I have full life at the moment, so it's not going to eat anything. But if I attack, it's going to start eating the corpses. So that's how I should have dealt with that other pack, but I didn't realise I wasn't attacking there. So let's just clear the rest of this map. I should probably chuck myself on D&D just so everyone knows that I am recording. /D&D, there we go. Well, eating waves. Probably should move away from mobs a bit further. Blessing of Elements, extra fire damage, extra damage. It's actually a pretty nasty mob. If I get ignited and frozen, they're going to be pretty big ones. But I should just be able to granite and kill this guy off here. There we go, there's the cull. Just moving forwards now. Yeah, granite. I was using a Jade Flask before, and the effect of it's not quite as obvious as the Granite Flask. So I'm glad I switched to the Granite Flask. You can also use them twice as often, so I prefer to use a Granite Flask on an IR character list. Another Vile Touch Spider, nothing to be concerned about. Just move in and just like destroy these guys because they're very easy, nothing dangerous there. I'll dispel my vulnerability. So things like this will hurt. And there's Kuduku. Actually, I should have probably taken the time to say that this was moving into the boss room there. But as you can see, it's sort of increasing out a bit. Is that actually not Kuduku? It is Kuduku. Okay, cool. I thought, hold on, is that just a little shock totem or something? I haven't seen any other totems in this map. These guys are desync, so I'm going to OOS there. But basically, you'll come across a bridge. The room will open up a little bit, and then there'll be a kind of a wall in the way. It's a bit hard. This one here is not as obvious as some of the other spawns that could happen. So I didn't quite get the most obvious Kuduku room, but pretty easy. I'm just going to stand away from the wall kind of and out of shock nova distance there. Actually, I think I was out of shock nova distance. Just move forwards a little bit. Nope, kind of eating a lot of sparks there. Basically, you want some of the sparks to kind of move past you. I'm actually able to move forwards a bit. Let's just turn off loot. And then we just want to kind of destroy him there. And I'll go for my cull. There we go. As a ranged character, pretty cruisy. As a melee character, you just want to move into melee range and just really keep a close eye on your shock stacks up here. If you have your dispelled shock flask like this, pop that whenever it comes up. If you're out of flask, run away until your shock stack dissipates. He's not too bad when you're not shock stacked, but when you have multiple shock stacks, or just even one shock stack, they can sort of pile up really quickly and you can take a lot of damage that way. So we're going to ID some loot here, see if there's any of these are good. That's not good. Had a nice resist on it, but nothing else. Nothing really on this one. And nothing on this one. And that one's pretty dodgy as well. No luck on the loot so far. Pick up the rest of these guys, and we'll check those out once we find some more rares. That's actually the end, actually. Cool. Awesome. So let's double check whether I missed any mobs. Pretty sure I full cleared. 0. Perfect. Perfect. So let's head back to town. We'll ID the rest of our loot. And that's pretty much it. And we'll take... I think we'll take like a moment at the end of each one of these videos to sort of just take stock of how we did on that map. And whether it was good. Maybe I could have won out that map and just sort of ran it pretty cruisy. That's a really easy map overall. So if you are going to run sort of higher quantity maps, that's a good one to do it on. We have move speed, rarity, but they're all really low, so I'm going to vendor that. And we've got our chromatic items there. Pretty dodgy. And pretty dodgy. I could go back and pick up the other rares, but not really going to bother. Going to keep that for the vendor recipe. And we got 168, so we got a -2. Not the most profitable map overall, but a decent amount of XP from the extra blue mobs and things like that in there. So, well, we managed to get a chisel. That's a quarter of a map, basically. And we'll transfer all the rest of this stuff over. So hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Let me know what you kind of think of the new series, the idea. We'll move through a new one of each maps. I've got to build up my map pool a bit, but whenever I find a new map, I'll do an episode on this. So, maybe we'll do like a dry woods or something next, or a spider forest or something like that. I'll sort of work my way through the map pool, and eventually, hopefully you guys will have a nice sort of like little thing to refer back to whenever you want to sort of jump into a map that you're not sure with. But anyway, let me know what you think. That's it for now. I'm ZiggyD, and thanks for watching.